Hey, Jodes with Weeds and Wisdom. So I got my lavender planted outside, in with the raspberries because my research that I did last night shows that that's one of the best companion plants to plant with raspberries. At least of the things that I had in my seed stash already. I had the lavender and the marigolds. So that's what I'm going to go with in and around my raspberry plants this year to drive away pests and attract pollinators and generally live in harmony in my beds with the raspberries. So I had a question on from a YouTube subscriber about cover slash trap crops slash companion planting. So I wanted to show you a couple things. So I bought some books, Companion Planting for Beginners. This is by Michelle, I don't know her last name, Damiani. And it was a good book. I have never done the organic, I used to spray weed spray on my garden. So just call it what it is. But now I'm more interested in having vegetables that are more organic, and so I don't want to do that. So companion planting are plants that go well together. So like onions and blueberries go well together. Creeping thyme and blueberries, creeping thyme and blackberries go well together. But you shouldn't plant blackberries with raspberries, right? So those are the things that you're looking for when you're companion planting. So one of the reasons I'm planting my sunflowers outside of my gate, outside of my fence, is because every time I looked up, can I plant sunflowers with beets? Can I plant sunflowers with squash? Can I plant sunflowers with blueberries or with broccoli or with peas? It was always like, well, you could, but you probably shouldn't. So I'm going to pick up and move my sunflowers out of the fence so that it doesn't draw the kind of bugs that are going to damage my other plants. So that's the kind of research I've been doing, because we have all kinds of bugs here. So that's what companion planting is like, what can you plant together? What is not going to overpower the other in a bed type of thing. Like if one plant, like you could plant, beans and blueberries or blackberries together because blackberries and blueberries like the nitrogen in the soil, and the beans put back nitrogen into the soil. That's not how I'm doing mine, just because that's not how it worked out with the space I had and how I wanted to grow vertically. And that was the other thing, is that you can grow a lot of food in a small space if you're growing vertically. So I did get a book called Vertical Gardening by Derek Fell. And it was a good book. It's grow up, not out, for more vegetables and flowers and much less space. So that's why you see all of the trellises in my garden right now and the arches between the beds, is because I'm going to vine everything up and, tie it up so it goes up the trellises. I'm going to keep the bottoms of stuff cut back so that it gets good airflow. And so your goal is to grow more but grow up. So we're doing companion planting and vertical gardening this year. Also just bought a couple other books about mini farming. I've not actually read this book yet, so but this is called Mini Farming. It's by Brett Markham. And then Seed Growing Bible. So I don't think I've ever grown a garden quite from seed. Usually I run to the garden center somewhere and I pick up the plants they have. So the growing from seed is new for me. So I've done a ton of research on this. So those are the things. Now, trap crops are crops that you plant that trap the bugs that would attack your actual crops. So I've talked to you about Hubbard squash. So that is going to pull squash bugs away and vine borers away that would normally attack your regular squash. And you plant those not right up next to, but really close to your other squash. So by starting the Hubbard squash first, it's going to draw that stuff away from my actual squash plants that I want to eat off of. I can still harvest the Hubbard squash. It's just that it's going to be, it may have bugs in it. And so that would be the hope. That it goes there instead of your regular squash. So that's what a trap crop is. So mustard greens, nasturtiums, marigolds, all draw things like aphids away from other plants. So when you plant them together, that's where the bugs go instead of on your actual crops. So that's what a trap crop is. Now a cover crop is a little bit different in that it's something that covers the ground. So if you're looking at bare spaces where you can't grow like grass, things like clover are a cover crop. Things like creeping thyme are a cover crop. And I'm actually going to plant creeping thyme in with my blueberries, my blackberries, because it'll spread out in my bed and it's supposed to protect the roots. Blackberries and blueberries don't grow very deep roots, so it's supposed to cover up and kind of come around those roots and just protect it. So I'm going to give that a try. Now I don't know what's going to be successful yet. We're going to learn that together through the year. But those are the things that I'm working on to try and help me get the best harvest, the cleanest harvest, the least bug-ridden harvest that I can. I've also got some diatomaceous earth, a food grade of that, and you can spray that around the base of your plants, which I am going to do, and I'll show you that when I do it, to kind of keep bugs away as well. So whatever I use, I'm wanting to make sure it's organic. So anyway, that's really all I had about that. I just wanted to give you a high level overview of that. And then who's down here just bothering me? She doesn't like the camera. Lola. She had her head in my lap because she wants me to stop talking to you and pay attention to her. So that's it for kind of a short, quick tour around companion planting, vertical gardening. It's certainly just super high level. So we'll talk about more of it as the summer progresses and as we trim up our plants while they're growing vertically and that kind of stuff. But just wanted to give that answer to the person that asked that question. So until next time, peace, love, and gardening.